to the Imago Nutrition Podcast. I'm Danielle Glesney and your host today. I'm a dietitian and a certified diabetes care and education specialist. So today in all of our podcasts, our goal is to answer your questions and give practical nutrition strategies to help you and your family flourish. So today I wanted to give you one nutrition strategy, just one, that you can use at your next trip to the grocery store or the next time you are cleaning out your pantry. And it involves one of the top 3 things to look for on the nutrition label. So this strategy can help you feel more satisfied after eating and can help you reach a nutrition goal most Americans are lacking. So if you would like to submit a topic or a question to be featured on our podcast, please go to imagonutrition.com/podcast. That's IMAGO nutrition.com/podcast. And we would be happy to do that. So we're going to just dive right in. It's just one tip, so it'll be quite a short episode today. So the one nutrition strategy that I highly recommend for almost every client that I work with is to choose carbohydrates with 3 grams of fiber or more. So first off, what are carbohydrates? Most of you already know this, but they are an energy-based food, and they should roughly be about 1/4 of your plate for each meal. So some examples, of course, are breads, cereal, pasta, rice, crackers, tortillas, starchy vegetables such as potatoes, peas, corn, squash, legumes. So these would be like black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, and others. Foods such as chips, soda, and desserts provide carbohydrates. All fruit is a source of carbohydrate, whether it's fresh, frozen, or dried. And then milk and yogurt also provide carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are a macronutrient, which is a fancy term to say your body needs a larger amount of carbohydrates than, say, your vitamins and minerals, which are called micronutrients. Why are carbohydrates needed? They are your energy, like we mentioned, but they are needed for fiber and vitamins and minerals. So all parts of your body need fuel. The brain, red blood cells, parts of the kidney are always in constant need of sugar or carbohydrates for fuel. So I just want to repeat what we're kind of focusing on today is that carbohydrates are needed for fiber. So it is really hard to reach fiber goals in the first place, and to reach them only with veggies is nearly impossible. So the first scenario are people that are trying to avoid carbs. So if this is you, it puts all of the pressure to meet your fiber goals in vegetables. So first, let's look at those fiber goals. So if you are a man age 50 and younger, your fiber goal is 31 to 34 grams daily. If you are a man that is age 51 and older, your goal is 28 grams of fiber daily. So a man 51 years and older, 28 grams of fiber daily. If you are a woman age 50 and younger, 25 to 28 grams of fiber daily. Woman age 50 and younger, 25 to 28 grams of fiber daily. And lastly, if you are a woman 51 and older, 22 grams of fiber daily. So 51 and older for women is 22 grams of fiber daily. So let's just take a look at what this means. So I just mentioned that the first scenario is someone trying to avoid carbs. You put all the pressure to meet these fiber goals on vegetables. So let's just look at one quick thing. So 1 cup of raw broccoli, 2.2 grams of fiber. 1 cup of raw broccoli is only 2.2 grams of fiber. So think about that. You are, let's just say you're on the lower end of your fiber goal. So a woman that's age 51 and older, how many cups of broccoli would you need to get to 22 grams? So that is it. That is really unreachable. If this person, let's just say this person is not avoiding all carbs, they're including fruit. So still one apple is about 3 grams of fiber. So even if you are including fruit as your carbs, you're still putting way too much pressure on your fruits and veggies to get your fiber goal. Okay, so if you want to just circle back to what I just reviewed as all the needs and purpose of carbohydrates for our body, that could give you just a little motivation, hopefully, to include carbohydrates in your diet so you can reach these fiber goals. And if that's the only reason you include them, then that's totally fine. Scenario 2 is sometimes I find people think carbs are all the same, or they fall in 2 different categories, like carbs full of sugar and those not full of sugar. But actually, there's that third category, which we're talking about today, those nutrient-dense carbs that are high in fiber and or protein. So practically, how do we achieve this nutrition strategy for today? So this one nutrition strategy is to choose carbs with 3 grams of fiber or more. So first, you just want to assume all fruits and vegetables, fresh or frozen, are a good source of fiber. So we're not talking about fresh fruits and veggies today. And then secondly, we're not talking about starchy vegetables either. One is they don't come with a nutrition label. And 2, most of them are a good source of fiber. So your peas, beans, lentils, squash, all a great source of fiber. So we're really only talking about reading labels for that fourth of the plate, those carbohydrates such as breads, cereal, pasta, rice, crackers, tortillas, etc. So these carbs do matter. It's great to have, obviously, the fruits and vegetables and the starchy vegetables to get your fiber goals, but really try to look at those labels and choose those with 3 grams of fiber or more 85 to 90% of the time, however high of a goal you want your health to be. So we always talk about giving your health an A or a B+. So thinking about not necessarily going higher than 90% of the time. Again, we want to balance the pleasure and purpose in eating. But choosing those carbohydrates with 3 grams of fiber or more 85 to 90% of the time. Again, you're going to feel more satisfied. You're going to stay full longer. It's going to help with blood sugar spikes. The benefits of fiber are extensive, and I'm sure we've reviewed that on a podcast before. But some specific examples of the carbohydrates that I'm talking about. I always talk about Barilla Protein Plus Pasta. I love this product. I wish I was sponsored by them, but they have a pasta product that comes in all different shapes, spaghetti, angel hair, penne, what have you. And it's made out of peas and chickpeas and a little bit of wheat. So it's not just your full bean or lentil pasta. It has a little bit of wheat in mixed in there too. So I think it holds the texture pretty well when you're cooking it. There's also that bean or lentil pasta. So it might just say red lentil pasta or chickpea pasta. That's just straight beans and lentils. And one brand is called Banza. Great grain cereal is an example of a cereal that has 3 grams of fiber or more. There's several others. Unfortunately, one of my favorites is no longer being sold, so that's kind of sad. But Great Grains is a great one. They have several different flavors and varieties, I should say. And then another example would be like a high fiber cracker. Triscuit is one, but they have plenty of off brands, of course. And then you think about the grains like brown rice, quinoa, barley, farro. Those are all going to be some great grains that you can include for a lunch bowl or part of a side dish for dinner that can help you reach your fiber goals. So that is our one nutrition strategy for today, choosing carbohydrates with 3 grams of fiber or more. So hopefully that can encourage you to read those labels. Don't look at the front of the package. That's always trying to get you to buy the product. Just turn it over and look at one of my favorite things to look at on the nutrition label is how much dietary fiber. If you have found this episode helpful, please subscribe, review, share with a friend. We'd love to hear your comments and have your support. You can also follow us on social media at Imago Nutrition, IMAGO Nutrition. And we always want to thank Happy Pill, our theme song, Thinking About Food. Have a great day.